Welcome to this lesson on finding absolute extrema using the closed interval method. In calculus, identifying the highest and lowest values of a function is a fundamental skill with many real-world applications. First, let's define what we mean by absolute extrema. The absolute maximum is simply the highest point on the graph within a specific interval. Conversely, the absolute minimum is the lowest point. These are the global peaks and valleys of our function. The Extreme Value Theorem guarantees that these points exist. It states that if you have a continuous function on a closed interval from A to B, the function must have both an absolute maximum and an absolute minimum somewhere in that interval. This assurance allows us to proceed with confidence. To find these values, we use a simple three-step process called the closed interval method. First, we find the critical numbers. Second, we evaluate the function at those critical numbers and at the endpoints. Finally, we compare the results to see which is largest and which is smallest. Step 1 is finding the critical numbers. These are the values inside the interval where the derivative is 0 or undefined. Remember to only keep the critical numbers that fall strictly between your endpoints, A and B. In step 2, we take our valid critical numbers and plug them into the original function to get their output values. Crucially, we also evaluate the function at the endpoints, A and B, because the maximum or minimum could occur at the very edges of our interval. Step 3 is the easiest part. We simply look at the list of values we just calculated. The highest number in that list is your absolute maximum, and the lowest number is your absolute minimum. Let's apply this to an example. We want to find the absolute extrema for the function x cubed minus 3x plus 1 on the closed interval from 0 to 3. First, we find the derivative, which is 3x squared minus 3. Setting this to 0 gives us x equals plus or minus 1. However, since our interval is 0 to 3, we discard negative 1. Our only valid critical number is positive 1. Now we build our table. We evaluate the function at the left endpoint 0, the critical number 1, and the right endpoint 3. We get 1, negative 1, and 19. Comparing these, 19 is the largest and negative 1 is the smallest. Looking at the graph, we can verify our results. You can clearly see the local minimum at x equals 1, which happens to be the lowest point, and the function rises to its highest point at the endpoint, where x equals 3. To wrap up, remember the process. Check that the function is continuous, find your critical points, test them alongside the endpoints, and compare the values. This method ensures you never miss the true maximum or minimum.
If you like this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Visit codelucky.com for more such useful content.